Hi there, welcome. My name is Simon Girvin and welcome to Launching Agile Projects, where we board the Inception Deck to investigate another artifact in a little bit more detail. This one's quite a simple one. You might have come across something like it before, but it probably wasn't called this. We call it Meet The Neighbours, and in the book The Agile Samurai, that was the term that they used, and I quite like it because it really looks a lot like a stakeholder map, and that's because it is a stakeholder map. But calling it Meet The Neighbours opens it out a bit more for me. It makes it a bit clearer that the things that are important to your project and to your product development might not just be people. They could be other systems, they could be other organisations, other teams, other things. So it's important to think of them in the whole, and that's why Meet the Neighbours is quite a nice way to think about it. Although it's simple, it can be really powerful. It's really common sometimes for teams to miss off some important stakeholders and for them to disregard the importance of some people. So spending a little bit of time, and it doesn't need to be long, just brainstorming who are the things and the people and the systems and the interfaces that your system cares about, or your product cares about, writing them down, that might be enough. Now, if you want to be more sophisticated, you can apply a bunch of business analysis techniques, you can do power and influence maps and all kinds of things. But even just writing down your stakeholders is probably good enough to start. And then work out what they mean to you. Are these people that we need to do extra communication with? Are these systems we need to make some agreements with about changes to them? Or what is it that matters about those systems? Why have you put them on the map? And don't forget the other parts of the organisation. Finance, marketing, sales. There might be other bits that you care about. And this works for non-software products, of course, as well. It's just a bunch of people that you want to be caring about, probably doing some engagement with, probably having some communications with, and certainly wanting to make sure that what they think you're giving them in your product is still what your product is doing. Now, let me give you an example of where this goes wrong sometimes. Now, this is a specific example I'm thinking of, and actually it's one of the ones that we pick up elsewhere in the Inception Deck, but it's actually quite a common pattern. And it's where teams think that the only stakeholder they need to worry about is their product owner. Now, while the product owner is obviously a very important stakeholder, he or she is not the only one. And sometimes there are other people in the organisation that really need to be engaged with. Failure to recognise that can really cause your project problems. And in this example, the problem that caused was the senior stakeholder who thought they needed to be engaged with wasn't. They weren't getting the responses from the teams that they wanted. That caused them to think the team wasn't doing what they should be doing, and that caused a whole set of other problems around trust. And trust is a really important thing, especially in teams that you're trying to run an agile mindset with. So empowering teams, accountability, self-organising, all that requires trust. And stakeholder management, stakeholder communication is the most important thing to build trust with your stakeholders. Talk to them, understand their needs, understand what they want from you, and engage with them at a frequency that is right for the both of you. So that's why this is quite an important artifact, but it is quite a simple one. You can put a lot of effort into strong analysis, but you don't have to. But if it helps, do it. Why not? So there we have it, one of the simplest artifacts on the Inception Deck. We call it Meet the Neighbours. I hope that was useful. Join me next time as we explore another artifact on the Inception Deck as we learn how to launch successful Agile projects. Bye now.